Today's pick for the best in horror 2023-2024 reminds you to never talk to strangers. Now, the actual Strangers movie, released this year, did not make the countdown, but there are a pair of films that conveyed the same kind of message that did, and here they are. Number 22 is a quiet but potent little number that pulls you in and packs a powerful punch in the end. You Will Never Find Me was released on March 22nd, 2024, and it's streaming on Shudder. It's directed by Josiah Allen and Indianna Bell, and written by Indianna Bell. Brennan Rock plays Patrick, a man living a lonely life in the back of a trailer park. One dark, stormy night, he hears a knock at the door, and a young woman, played by Jordan Cowan, begs with the man to let her in out of the rain and possibly give her a ride into town. After inviting the young woman in, the two strangers begin a conversation, showing that both are quite leery of one another, and as they get to know one another, they begin wondering if each poses some kind of danger towards the other. You'll Never Find Me feels like a modern retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, where a man with a shady past is visited by someone or something that reminds him of past sins and regrets. All taking place within one dimly lit trailer, the story is a simple one that unfolds ever so slowly and meticulously. But for the longest time, you don't know if it is Patrick who is in danger from this night visitor, or if the night visitor is the one in trouble. Filmmakers Josiah Allen and Indianna Bell keep these answers tightly wrapped, offering clues that lean one way, then other hints that lead another. For almost the entire runtime, there's a delicate tug of war, amping the tension as the time ticks by. Those looking for an explosion or kill a minute are going to need some toothpicks to keep your eyes open, but I soaked in the palpable atmosphere and was enwrapped in the mystery for the entire time. Allen and Bell keep the story moving through strange camera angles, slow zooms in on dark corridors, and off-kilter focus on suspicious yet typical objects found within the trailer. The constant tapping of the rain and rumble of the thunder helps punctuate every sentence with pressure. This is a film that is soaked in atmosphere. But it's the excellent lead performance by Brendan Rock that put me in the trailer with these two strangers the most. Rock goes from sympathetic to defensive to paranoid and back again throughout the movie, making each emotion feel convincing. Rock sort of reminds me of a gruffer Australian version of Paul Giamatti and shows comparable range and presence as the wizened actor in this film. Jordy Cowan, as the visitor, keeps right up with Rock, trembling like a newborn fawn, then throwing accusations around like stilettos. Seeing these two talented actors go back and forth is another reason this low-action, dialogue-heavy suspense piece works so well. I understand that You'll Never Find Me might not be for everyone. I kind of predicted the outcome, but there are moments I doubted those predictions, as the film really could go either way, casting either actor as the predator and prey. In many ways, this one reminded me of Maniac, both the Lustig version and its remake, as it really gets into the head of someone overcome with guilt and remorse. I can also understand that this might have been a better short film rather than one extended to feature length, but for me, the way the filmmakers and actors maintained the tension for so long deserves recognition and praise. So that's what I'm going to give it. If you would rather feel your horror than have it smack you in the face, You'll Never Find Me is that type of movie. Taking a page from The Stranger's playbook, Ghosts of the Void is different enough to distinguish itself from the film it's derived from, and delivers a story that resonates long after it's over. Ghosts of the Void was released on October 13th, 2023, and is streaming on Tubi from Speakeasy Films. It's written and directed by Jason Miller. Jen, played by Tedra Milan, and her husband Tyler, played by Michael Regan, are a couple evicted from their home and forced to live in their car. Looking for a safe place to spend the night, they pull into a park in an affluent neighborhood, only to be tormented by three masked strangers bearing weapons. Jen and Tyler attempt to survive the night while the film flashes back on how they arrived in this dire situation in the first place. Ghosts of the Void has a very familiar premise. For the most part, it's the strangers in a car where a couple on their last leg find themselves tormented by masked creeps who appear and disappear in the darkness around them. Much of the same techniques used to make Brian Bertino's classic thriller work so well are utilized in Ghosts of the Void, such as long drawn-out segments with masked marauders moving strategically in the background. While it might not have captured the atmosphere completely and immersed the viewer as much into the suspense as The Strangers did, writer-director Jason Miller does ape the style well, delivering quite a few sequences of sheer terror. One of the things that separates Ghosts of the Void from The Strangers is the reason this couple is in trouble in the first place. Given the current culture of this country, it's easy, believe me, too easy, to find oneself overwhelmed by bills, responsibilities, and other aspects of adulthood. Believe you me, I've paid my dues in situations like this, and while I've never lived out of my car, I've come damn near close a time or two in my long and storied life. What Ghosts of the Void does so well is illustrate how easy it is to take one or two wrong turns, and how life's pressures can take their toll on a person's psyche, as well as the bonds of a relationship. Tyler is a writer who is pursuing his dream to write his dream novel. Jen is supportive of Tyler's dreams, doing what she can to make a living. But as the bills pile up, filmmaker Miller, along with the deft performances of Milan and Regan, illustrate just how many problems can come from this type of situation. Add in the fact that Tyler is a drunk and Jen is at her wit's end with panic attacks about bill collectors and evictions, and that's a whole lot of real-world drama going on. But Miller does a great job of making sure all of this melodrama doesn't overshadow the horrors that are lurking in the darkness just outside of the vehicle. All of the relational and adulting stuff only intensifies the situation all the more in this expertly paced white knuckler. While the idea of a strong female lead is not at all new to the horror genre, there has been a rise in stories featuring a woman who has become increasingly fed up and resentful of her ineffectual and entitled partner. I don't know if this is a sign of the times we live in, but seeing these themes show up in the recent Do Not Disturb, last year's Infinity Pool, and the excellent Danish thriller Speak No Evil, and now here in Ghosts of the Void, it's hard not to see some kind of message about the male's role in a relationship and how modern culture may have caused that role to atrophy. It's a subject I want to explore maybe in a future essay now that I've noticed this trend, subversive and elevated horror. As is, Ghosts of the Void once again depicts the male lead as downright useless in day-to-day life, as well as during a time of great crisis. How those notions were implanted in the current cultural mindscape is debatable, but this trend is noticeably present in a lot of films these days and deserves some dissecting real soon. Though the vague title leaves a lot to be desired, is an impressive, small-scale horror revolving around both modern relationships as well as things that lurk in the dark. I definitely recommend this low-budget but high-impact little shocker. Once again and always, feel free to agree, disagree, or how about you play along at home and give me your own picks for your favorite horror movies. It's October, so let's talk horror. Come back tomorrow for the next level in the Best in Horror Countdown. Be sure to hit all of those pertinent bells and whistles down below, and you'll never miss a post. Happy Halloween, folks. Please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell for notifications. You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're